Shabbat Shalom to the remnant, the Hebrew kingdom. Shabbat Shalom, Shalom remnant is still the Sabbath day in Jerusalem. It's still a Sabbath day in Jerusalem. It's we got about maybe 3 more hours before it get dark in Jerusalem. And once it get dark in Jerusalem, the Sabbath is over all over the earth. Because you can only keep the Sabbath day in Jerusalem. So we're here today. This is the God of Israel Hebrew Knowledge School. Let me say that again. This is the God of Israel 12 Tribes Hebrew Knowledge School. We're here today. We're going to talk about the mothers of the Hebrew kingdom. We always talking about the fathers of the Hebrew kingdom. But today we want to talk about the mothers of the Hebrew kingdom. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They are the fathers of the Hebrew kingdom. My name is Prophet Queen Elishaba. I am the prophet of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am the prophet of the God of Israel. His name is Ahiah. I'm his prophet. And I'm here today to speak for him. I'm here to give him the glory, the honor, and the praise. Him and the great, great Holy Spirit, the mother of Jerusalem, the mother of Zion. I'm here to glorify them. Yes, I know her name just like I know the Father's name, but I'm not going to reveal that information. It's only for the remnant. Only the remnant will I reveal the mother of Jerusalem name to the remnant. So we're here today. We have a few scriptures that we're going to read today for our Shabbat class for the Hebrew kingdom and the Hebrew nation and the God of Israel and the mother of Zion and the Son of God and the heavenly hosts. We're here today to glorify that kingdom. So one moment here. Let me see. You know, from the way that the Bible is being taught and the way that the Hebrew Israelite elders are teaching, the children of Israel, the Bible, it's like they don't never, ever, ever, the Christian church and nobody, they never, ever talk about the mothers of Jerusalem, the Hebrew Israelites. That's what I'm a deal on that right now. Because the Christian church, they don't know nothing about the Hebrew kingdom. They don't know nothing about the Hebrew God. They don't know nothing about the Hebrew, they don't understand anything according to the King James Version Bible about the God of Israel. So I'm not even talking about the Christian church right now. I'm talking about the Hebrew Israelites that say they into the truth. Why is it that they always, you talking about the Most High, the Most High, they keep you in the New Testament. They don't read the Torah. They don't go over the laws with you. You're just reading a lot of New Testament scriptures. But today I'm here to talk about the mothers of Jerusalem. Okay, the mother of that Hebrew kingdom, the mother of the nation of Israel. Just like you have 3 fathers, you have 3 mothers also. Just like you have 3 fathers, there's 3 mothers of that kingdom. And they are the wives of the fathers of the Hebrew nation. Yes, no. Okay, so let me get my Bible verses. Let me get my Bible verses right here that I have. We're going to start with Sarah. Sarah. Sarah is the wife of Abraham. Okay? Abraham is one of the first fathers of the Hebrew kingdom and the Hebrew nation. And he is the son of the God of Israel. Okay? Abraham. Abraham. Okay? A great, great man. A great, great man. Very powerful man. Very spiritual man. Very obedient man to the God of Israel. A man that could hear the God of Israel. He was also a prophet of the God of Israel. So he wasn't just a man of the Hebrew kingdom. He was a king and he was a prophet. Okay, that's what he was. And it doesn't matter if it's not, that's who he was, I'm sorry. And it doesn't matter if it's not written in your King James Version, Christian Bible, Christian literature Bible. It don't have nothing to do with the Hebrew kingdom. The King James Version Bible don't have nothing to do with the Hebrew kingdom. It's just a translation of what they say. They, the people that translated it, what they say, the Romans, that's who translated. What they say that you should believe and you should think and you should read. No, this is not the Hebrew scrolls. It's not the Hebrew scrolls. Let me help you, Israel, with this. It is not the Hebrew scrolls. And because it's not the Hebrew scrolls, it is not the word of the God of Israel. Okay? Let me open up your mind today. This is not the Hebrew scrolls, so it is not the God of Israel words. It is not his words. It's translations of what they say his words was. Okay? So because you don't have the Hebrew scrolls, you cannot say that Abraham was not a king. Of course he was a king. He was a very powerful man. Just like when he got to Canaan, Jerusalem, when he got there, they had the Canaanites up in there, the Hamites, the Canaanites. They was up in the land. Excuse me. They was up in Jerusalem. They had kings that was living there in Canaan when Abraham got there. So why Abraham can't be a king? Why he just got to be what the Christian church said, the father of faith? Are you kidding me? He was way more powerful and mightier than that. They call him the father of faith. The Hebrew Israelites, they just call him Abraham. Abraham. He was Abraham. He's the father. He one of the fathers of the Hebrew kingdom. But today, let me bring it out as the prophet of the God of Israel. Abraham was a powerful, mighty man of the God of Israel. He was a king. He was a prophet. And he also was the father of the Hebrew kingdom. So let's go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis 20, verse 1, talking about Sarah, the wife, the queen, the daughter of Zion, the daughter of the Hebrew kingdom, the mother of the Hebrew kingdom, the mother. She wasn't no daughter. She was the mother of the Hebrew kingdom. She was the daughter of the God of Israel. So that would make her the daughter of Zion. So let's talk about this powerful woman named Sarah. Sarah in the Hebrew, not Sarah. Sarah. Sarah, powerful woman of the Hebrew kingdom and the Hebrew nation. Yeah, your Christian church literature Bible, King James, don't want to bring it out about the mothers of Zion. But let's talk about that today, because the God of Israel say, talk about the mothers of the Hebrew kingdom. Just like the Holy Spirit, she's a mother, she's the woman, she's the mother of Zion. She's the queen of the Hebrew nation and kingdom. We're going to talk about the mothers today. Yeah, every time the Hebrew Israelite elders bring up Sarah, all they want to say, well, she called Abraham Lord. That's their whole focus. Their whole focus is just to keep you on the fact that she called Abraham Lord. What else? What else did Sarah, the mother of the kingdom, do? What kind of woman was she? Who was she? Sarah, a Hebrew woman, a black woman, not white, not pink, but black. Sarah, Hebrew, Eber. Okay, she was a black woman. Beautiful black woman, so beautiful. So beautiful. What? She didn't have on no makeup. She didn't have on no weaves. She had on none of that. She didn't need none of that. She was so very beautiful. She was breathtaking. When a man looked at my mother, Sarah, she was breathtaking. She was irresistible beauty. This beauty y'all got today, these women today talking about they beautiful and got their weave. No, no. This is real, authentic beauty that Sarah had. Oh man. Pharaoh. When Abraham went to Egypt for the famine, they had a famine in Canaan. Sarah was so beautiful that Pharaoh almost lost his mind when he looked at her. He did lose his mind. He did lose his mind because her beauty is breathtaking. It take a man breath. See, that's how the daughters of Zion supposed to look. That's how we supposed to look. That's how we supposed to represent our God and our kingdom up in this earth. Our beauty supposed to be so irresistible that can't no man in this world resist our beauty like our mother Sarah. You got these women on YouTube, they always talking about divine energy, feminine energy, feminine energy. That's big right now on YouTube. Everybody talking about feminine energy. Do you know and understand what feminine energy is? That's number one. You got to know and understand what feminine energy is. Feminine energy goes along with being naturally beautiful. Just like Sarah, she was naturally beautiful. Just like Leah, naturally beautiful. All the Hebrew mothers of the kingdom was beautiful. Rachel, irresistible beautiful. She was so beautiful. Jacob lost he lost his mind when he laid eyes on her. She was so beautiful. So we're gonna deal with Sarah right now. So all this feminine energy. You got these big old weaves on your head. You got these big old eyelashes on your eyes and eyebrows, and pounds and pounds and pounds of makeup on your face. This is no feminine energy. That's no feminine energy. Breast implants, booty implants, all kind of implants. That's no feminine energy. That's no energy at all. That's no energy at all. That's a made up beauty and a made up what you call feminine energy. So let's go to our scripture today for the Hebrew Knowledge School, 12 tribes of Israel. I'm here to enlighten you, Hebrews. I'm here to teach you prophetic information that will help you in the kingdom remnant. Genesis 20, verse 1. Genesis 20, verse 1. We're going to talk about Sarah. And Abraham journeyed from thence toward the south country and dwelled between Kadesh, and Shirah, and sojourned in Gerar. Verse 2 of Genesis 20. And Abraham said to Sarah, his wife, she is my sister, Akwada. And Amalek, king of Gerar, sent and took Sarah, but God came to Amalek in a dream by night and said to him, behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. Abraham journeyed, and he went to this place in Canaan. And when the king Amalek saw Sarah, Abraham's wife, he already told Sarah, tell everybody that we meet, everybody that we see, wherever we go, tell them that you are my sister, because you are so remarkably beautiful. If you don't tell them that I'm your sister, you my sister, they might kill me and end my life. So Amalek took Sarah because he thought that was Abraham's sister. And when he took her, the God of Israel, Ahiah, came to him in a dream by night and said, if you touch this woman, if you do anything wrong to this woman, Sarah, you are nothing but a dead man. See, that's how much the God of Israel loved it, Sarah. That's how much the God of Israel honored her as Abraham's wife. Wasn't nobody about to touch her. Wasn't nobody about to have no sex with her. Wasn't nobody about to do nothing to Sarah. He said, if you touch her, you're a dead man. because she's another man's wife. How many Hebrew Israelite men have wives? Have wives, and and other men end up committing adultery and fornication and all kind of stuff with their wives. So many of them, but not with Sarah, not with Abraham's wife, because Abraham was a prophet, Abraham was a king, and Abraham was the father of the Hebrew nation. So that make his wife a queen of the Hebrew nation. That make his wife a prophetess of the Hebrew nation because he was a prophet. Mm. So let's keep reading. He said, let her go, because if you don't, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to end your life. This is what the God of Israel told him in a dream. Y'all don't know the God of Israel. I'm telling you, he's a powerful God. He's nothing to play with. He's nothing to play with. He will kill you. He will hurt you. He will destroy you. Let's read verse 2 again of Genesis 20. And Abraham said to Sarah his wife, she is my sister. And Amalek took Uriah and sent and took Sarah. But God, Ahiah, came to Amalek in a dream by night and said to him, behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife. But Amalek had not come near her. And he said, Lord, will thou slay also a righteous nation? Said he, not unto me. She is my sister. And even she herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of his heart and innocence of my kind have I done this. And the God of Israel, Ahiah, said unto him in a dream, verse 6 of Genesis 20, yea, I know that thou did this in the integrity of thy heart, for I also withheld thee from sinning against me. He said, I know you did it because you thought that she was Abraham's sister. And that's what Abraham told you. And that's what Sarah also told you. But I'm letting you know right now who she really is. Who she really is. She's Abraham's wife. She's the mother of the Hebrew kingdom and nation. She's a daughter of Zion. And he said, what I did, Amalek, the God of Israel, Ahiah told me, what I did, I actually stopped you from sinning against me. Because if you would have slept with Sarah, Abraham's wife, I was going to kill you. You was going to literally drop dead that very instant that you even probably laid your hands on her. See, the God of Israel is having a conversation with him in a dream. In a dream. Okay? So I stop you from sinning against me, and I also stop you from losing your life. Let's keep reading. Verse 7. Now therefore restore. Let's finish verse 6. And God said unto him in a dream, yeah, I know that thou did this in integrity of thy heart. For I also withheld thee from sinning against me. Therefore suffer I thee not to touch her. I would not even let you touch Sarah. I would not even let you touch Sarah. She's Abraham's wife. She's my prophet wife. I wouldn't even let your uncircumcised Gentile hands even touch such a beautiful, beautiful woman of Israel or daughter of Israel. I wouldn't even let you lay your hands on her. You wanted to, but I stopped you. Now, therefore, restore the man his wife. Verse 7. And he is a prophet. See, the God of Israel said right here in verse 7, for he is a prophet, and he shall pray for thee, and thou shalt live. And if thou restore her not, know thou that thou shalt surely die, thou and all that are dying. So he said, you know what? I'm not going to only kill you, I'm going to kill everybody in your kingdom. Everybody in your household going to die. Whatever belonged to you, whoever belonged to you, nephew, son, daughter, whoever, I'm going to kill all of them. Restore, get Abraham, give him his wife back, Sarah, and he will pray for you that you will live. Okay? That's how powerful Abraham was. Very, very powerful with the God of Israel. Very powerful. Abraham gonna pray that you will live. And if you don't give her back, then you're gonna die. And your whole household will also die right along with you. Sarah, the mother, one of the mothers of the Hebrew queen, Hebrew king, the queen of Israel, daughter of Zion, beautiful, so very beautiful, so very wise, so very intelligent, so very strong, so very spiritual. She was so spiritual, Sarah. So spiritual. No, she wasn't no Jezebel. She was just so very elegant, virtuous, irresistible beauty, inside out. We're going to take this verse all the way to verse 14. We're going to take this chapter to verse 14. Verse 8. There Amalek rose up in the morning and called all his servants and told all these things in their ears. And the men were so afraid. Then Amalek called Abraham and said unto him, what hast thou done unto us? And what have I offended thee, that thou hast brought on me and on my kingdom a great sin? Thou hast done deeds unto me that ought not to be done. Verse 10, and Amalek said unto Abraham, what sawest thou that thou hast done this thing? And Abraham said, because I thought surely the fear of God, Ahijah, is not in this place. Or should I say Elohim, Ahijah, is not in this place. and they will slay me for my wife's sake. So the God of Israel, Abraham told Amalek, I didn't know that the God of Israel was in this place. I didn't know that. So I did what I did to protect myself. That's what I did. But that the God of Israel is in this place. I didn't have to protect myself or my wife Sarah. The God of Israel did it for me. Now I know for a surety that the God of Israel, Ahia, is in this place. My God is in this place, Canaan. Verse 12. And yet indeed she is my sister. She is the daughter of my father. Okay? But not the daughter of my mother. And she became my wife. And it came to pass when God caused me to wander from my father's house, that I said unto her, Sarah, this is the kindness which thou shalt show unto me. At every place whether we shall come, say of me, he is my brother. And Amalek took sheep and oxen and manservants and women servants and gave them unto Abraham and restored him Sarah, his wife. So you see how beautiful Sarah, how beautiful the mother of the Hebrew kingdom was. How beautiful, how in oh my, Amalek fell in love with the mother of Zion, Sarah, our mother. Abraham said, you know what? I know my wife is so irresistible, beautiful. And if I don't tell you and whoever else that she is my sister, I know that you will take my life. And Amalek gave Abraham women's servants and men's servants, oxen and cattle and goats and sheep, gold and silver. Oh, he gave him so much things. That's why Abraham, our father of the Hebrew kingdom, he was so wealthy and so powerful. So wealthy and so very powerful. And his wife was so very beautiful and had so much virtuous, so much feminine energy that she had because she was so beautiful from head to toe, inside out. She was just so very immaculate in beauty. So I'm talking about the mothers of Jerusalem today. I'm talking about the mothers of the kingdom. It's time for us to address our mothers, Hebrews, daughters of Zion. It's time for us to look at the mothers of our kingdom, the queens of the Hebrew kingdom. Yes, she was a queen. Abraham was a king. Yes, yes. Stop worrying about what the King James Version Bible is teaching you. It's just a translated. It's just translated. It's not the Hebrew scrolls. Stop putting your mind like the everything in the Bible, 66 books, everything in there is real, everything in there is true. No, it's not. No, it's not. Everything in this King James Version literature Bible is not true. They have injections in here. They don't want to talk about the women. They don't want to talk about the daughters of Zion. They don't want to talk about the mothers of the Hebrew nation. Sarah, Leah, Rachel, Rebecca. They don't want to bring it out because daughters of Zion, they want to keep us weak. They want to keep us weak. They want to just make us feel that everything got to be centered around a man. Everything got to be centered and focused around a man, a man, a man. No, no. This is not the God of Israel, Ahia. The God of Israel don't think like that. You didn't hear that. So, right here in Genesis 20, verse 14. So, Amalek took sheep and oxen, men servant and women servant, and gave them to Abraham and restored Sarah, his wife. See? He gave him his wife back, and he restored him with manservants and maidservants. The Hebrew kingdom, the greatest nation on earth. The greatest nation on earth. Let's go to our next mother of the kingdom and the nation of Israel. Let's go to Genesis 23. We're going to read that where Sarah died. Genesis 23, 1 through 7. Where our mother Sarah died. So y'all Hebrew women need to stop talking about you the daughters of Zion. You the daughters of Zion. If you was the daughters of Zion, ooh, if you was the daughters of Zion, Hebrew women, you will be doing what the daughters of Zion supposed to be doing. You will represent the Hebrew kingdom and the Hebrew nation, just like Sarah, just like Leah, just like Rachel and Rebecca, the mothers of the kingdom. They always represented the Hebrew kingdom and nation. If you was the daughters of Zion, you wouldn't be polluting yourself. See, the mothers of Zion, Sarah and Rebecca and all, they never polluted and defiled themselves. See, that's what y'all doing. Y'all are polluting yourself. Y'all are defiling yourself. No, you cannot be the daughter of Zion if you are polluted, if you are defiled. And how are we polluting ourselves, prophet? Let me tell you how. Because you're not doing what Sarah did. The God of Israel loved Sarah so much that he protected her. He protected her not just because she was Abraham's wife. He protected Sarah because she was the mother of the kingdom. So y'all need to get out of that stuff with these Hebrew Israelite elders trying to focus and center everything around an elder and a man. And a man. Because it's just not working. It's just not. Daughters of Zion, y'all are so weak. Y'all are so very weak. And y'all worried about, oh, well, why did Trump, or why did they put that big old black woman up, that big old statue of a black woman in New York, and she looked like a man? That's what y'all act like. That's what y'all act like, men. Y'all dress like men, you act like men. And it also represents a strong woman. When I look at the statue, I see a strong black woman that's ready to fight. That's what I see. But see, y'all can't see that. Y'all see something else. See, they really put the statue up to make a point, to make a point, to show black women who they really are. We strong when we follow the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, the God of the Hebrew kingdom and nation. Sarah was a strong woman. She didn't fear Amalek. She didn't fear him. She said, okay, whatever you want me to do, Abraham. Is that what you want me to do, honey, my Lord? Yes. And the word wasn't Lord because that's an English word. So she didn't call Abraham Lord. No, she called him Malak, my king. That's what she called him. Malak, my king. See, the Hebrew scrolls will let you know all that, not the King James Version Bible. So let's go to Genesis 23. The daughters of Zion are polluted and defiled. You can't represent the kingdom, the Hebrew kingdom. You can't represent the Hebrew God, the God of Israel higher. You don't know how to represent him. You don't know how to represent him. You don't know how to represent the Hebrew kingdom, the nation, and you don't know how to represent yourself as Hebrew women. Genesis 23. And Sarah was 170 and 20 years old. She was 127 years old when she died and left this earth. She was 127 years old. But guess what she looked like? She looked like she was 30 years old. Ooh. She looked like she was 20 years old. At 127, she looked at 20 years old. Wow, what a beautiful woman. Sarah, my mother, my queen of Jerusalem. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman she was. See, right here on the picture, Abraham and Sarah, black people. And Sarah died, verse 2 of Genesis 23. And Kirjah Arba. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. That's where she died. She died in Jerusalem. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And Abraham stood up from before his dead and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, I am a stranger and a sojourner Will you give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight? And the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying unto him, Hear us, my Lord, thou art a mighty prince. Yes, he was a prince in their eyes, but he was a king in the God of Israel eyes. Ahaya. He was a mighty, mighty warrior. Mighty, mighty warrior. Ooh, so wise, so brilliant, so smart. Oh, Abraham, my father, my father. And that's why the Bible said, look to Abraham. Hebrews, look to Abraham, Hebrew men. But no, y'all not looking at Abraham. You're not looking to Abraham. You don't know nothing about Abraham. Why? Because you don't know nothing about the God of Israel. That's why you don't know nothing about Abraham other than the stories that the King James Version Bible tell you about Abraham. The stories, the book of Jasher and all the other books that they have. But see, I know Abraham, my father of the Hebrew kingdom, in a prophetic way. A prophetic way. The God of Israel revealed things to me about Abraham. And Sarah, his beautiful, wonderful, amazing, amazing wife, his queen. So they said, you know what? You are a prince. Yes, he was a prince and a king. And they said right here in Genesis 23, you are a prince among us, and the choice of our sepulchre. Bury thy dead, none of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but thou mayest bury thy dead. Verse 7 of Genesis 23. And Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. And he commanded with them, saying, If it be your mind that I shall bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me to Ephra, the son of Zorah, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah, which is in the end of his field, for as much money as it is worth. He shall give it to me for a possession, for a burying place among you. Verse 10. I'm going to take this to verse. I'm finished with that. Let's go to the next mother of Zion. Let's go to the next mother of Zion. The mother of the Hebrew kingdom. Let's read about Rebecca. Let's read about Rebecca. That would be Genesis 29, verse 15 through 26. We're going to read about her, the next mother of the Hebrew nation. Genesis 29. No, Genesis 24, 1 through 26. I don't think I'm going to read all of that. Genesis 24, 1 through 26. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and Ahiah had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray thee, thy hand under thy thigh, and swear. And I will make thee swear by Ahiah, the God of heaven, and the God of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell. Genesis 24, verse 4. But thou shalt go unto my country, and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. So what country was that? That was Babylon. Abraham was born in Babylon, ancient Babylon, which is Iraq. Okay, that's where he was born. Go to my country, he said. And verse 4, but thou shalt go to my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And the servant said unto him, peradventure the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I need bring thy son again unto the land from which thou comest? And Abram said unto him, beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again. Ahiah, God of heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred, and which spake unto me, and that swore unto me, saying, unto thy seed will I give this land. He shall send his angels before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence. And if the woman will not be willing to follow thee, then thou shalt not take my son there again. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and said, swear to him concerning the matter. So he made his servant swear that he would never ever take Isaac, his son, back to Babylon to find a wife or anything, or anything. Okay? And the servant swore unto Abraham. Verse 10. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master, and departed from all the goods of his masters were in his land. And he rose and went to Mesopotamia unto the city of Norah. And he made his camels to kneel down without the city by a well of water at that time of the evening, even the time that the women go out and draw water. And he said, O Ahiah, God of my master Abram, I pray thee, send me good speed this day, and show kindness unto my master Abram. Behold, I stand here by the well of water, and the daughters of the men of the city come out to draw water. And let it come to pass that the damsel to whom I shall say, let down thy pitcher, I pray thee, that I may drink, and she shall say, drink, and I will give thy camels drink also. Let the same be she that thou have appointed for thy servant Isaac. And therefore shall I know that thou hast shown kindness unto my master. And verse 15. And it came to pass before he had done speaking, that behold, Rebecca, it's not Rebecca came out, who was born through Bethel, the son of Maachah, the wife of Norah, Abraham's brother, with her picture upon her shoulder. Verse 16. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin, neither had any man known her. And she went down to the well and filled her pitcher and came up. And the servant ran to meet her and said, let me, I pray thee, drink a little water of thy pitcher. And she said, drink, my lord. And she hasted to let down her pitcher upon her hand and gave him to drink. Okay, let's go up to verse 22 of Genesis 24. And it came to pass as the camel had done drinking, that the man took a golden earring of a half of a shekel weight, and 2 bracelets for her hands of 10 shekels a weight of gold, and said, whose daughter art thou? Tell me, I pray thee, is there room in thy father's house for us to lodge in? And she said unto him, I am the daughter of Bethel, the son of Machah, which she bare unto Norah. She said moreover unto him, we have both straw and provender enough and room to lodge in. Verse 26. And the man bowed down his head and worshipped Ahiah. Okay, he was thanking Ahiah because he knew that Rebekah was the woman for Isaac to marry. Verse 27. And he said, blessed be Ahiah, God of my master Abraham, who have not left destitute my master of his mercy and his truth. I'm being in the way. Ahiah led me to the house of my father, of my master's brethren. Verse 28. And the damsel ran and told them of her mother's house these things. Verse 29. And Rebekah had a brother, and his name was Laban. And Laban ran out unto the man unto the well. And it came to pass when he saw the earrings and bracelet upon his sister's hand, and when he had heard the words of Rebekah, his sister, saying, thus speak the man unto me, that came unto the man, and behold, he stood by the camels at the well. So all of that, okay, okay. So we're going to go all the way to verse 58, 24:58 of Genesis. And they called Rebekah, and said unto her, will thou go with this man? And she said, I will go. And they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant and his men. Verse 60. And they blessed Rebekah and said unto her, thou art our sister, be thou the mother of thousands, of millions, and let thy seed possess the gate of those that hate them. And Rebekah arose and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels and followed the man. And servant took Rebekah and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well of Laharah, for he dwelt in the soft country of Canaan. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at evening time, and he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels was coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel, for she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? Oh my God, Isaac was so very handsome and oh wow, so very beautiful. And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore, she took a veil and covered herself. Okay? That's what Rebecca did, the mother of Zion. She covered herself. When she saw Isaac in the field coming towards her, she took a veil, not a head wrap. She took a veil and covered herself. Okay? That's what she did. To respect the man that she was getting ready to become his wife. And you got all these little YouTube women call themselves being married to a man, showing all their chest, showing all their legs, showing, oh my, they just don't know how to honor themselves. They don't know how to honor their husband. They don't know how to cover themselves. But she covered herself with a veil. And Rebecca was so very beautiful. When Isaac saw her, he was like, oh, wow, what woman is this? What woman is this jumping off this camel? Oh my, she's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. I can feel her beauty all the way over here in the field. I can feel her virtues. I can feel her spirit. I can feel her love all the way in the field. Excuse me. So she was so very beautiful. The second mother of Israel. The second mother of Israel. Excuse me, my allergies coming up. She was so very beautiful. And the daughters of Zion, none of you, absolutely none of you, look like the mothers of the Hebrew kingdom, the queens of the Hebrew kingdom, the princesses of the Hebrew. None of you do. Y'all mean, y'all nasty, y'all honorary. You got head wraps and veils on that don't mean anything because you're so polluted up under them. You polluted up under your skirts, your long dresses. Polluted, defiled. That's what y'all are. You would never represent the Hebrew kingdom and the mothers of that kingdom. Because the mothers of that kingdom, they would never ever do the things that y'all are doing. Never. Never, 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 ever. With all your weaves on, all your makeup on, all your fake eyelash. Never, ever, 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 ever would they defile themselves like you have done, daughters of Zion. When the God of Israel pulled the remnant out of the 12 tribes of Israel, when he pulled his remnant out, yeah, the remnant is polluted. The men and the women are polluted. But when the God of Israel pulled the remnant out, prophetically speaking to you, he's going to give us a new heart. He's going to give us a new spirit. And he's going to give us a new soul. He's going to take the stony heart. He's going to wash us with hypocrisy. He's going to wash us with clean water to clean us up. Because right now, the Hebrew kingdom and the Hebrew nation is defiled. Let's go to the last mother of the Hebrew kingdom. So she was remarkably beautiful, Rebecca. And she brought forth two sons, twin boys, Jacob and Esau. She was so beautiful, so obedient to her husband. Her husband was so obedient unto her. It wasn't about control, like the Hebrew Israelite teach, that a man is the head. Yes, the man is the head. The man is over the woman only because of what happened in the garden. Did that take place? See, y'all need to understand, Hebrews. Only because of what happened in the garden is the man, well, in the book of Genesis, it never say that the man is over the woman. It don't say that. It says that the woman will have, her desire would be for the man. Her desire should be for the man, and he shall, let me go to that real quick, and we're going to go back. I'll be here a little bit longer and I'm leaving. Let me read that. Verse Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. Let's start at verse 16. Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception and sorrow. Thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Yes, he shall rule over thee. Rule over thee, meaning that he was going to be in charge of the woman. Okay, but this was only because of what happened in the garden when they ate the forbidden fruit of the tree of life. I mean, not the tree of life, the tree of knowledge and good and evil. This was only because. But before that, they both had dominion. Adam and Eve had dominion in the garden. They both ruled and they both had dominion in the garden. The man was not over the woman. The man did not rule over the woman. It was only because what happened that the God of Israel said, you shall rule over the woman. Now we need to look that word rule up. Let me get my phone one moment, because I want to look that word rule up, because see, I get so sick of Hebrew Israelite elders and Christian church leaders giving so much attention to a man and acting like a woman is nothing and they can't do nothing but sit down and be quiet. And that's not true when it comes to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Ahiah. So one moment, let me get my phone. I want to look up the word, he shall rule over thee. And then I'm going to go back to the last mother of Jerusalem. Okay? And he shall rule over thee. That's Genesis 3, verse 16. Genesis 3:16. Okay? Let me look up the word rule. And shall be thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Let's look up the word rule in the Hebrew. Hebrew number 4910. A primitive root to rule, have make to have dominion, governor, indeed reign, bear cause to have ruling, having power. Yes, okay. But that was only because of what happened in the garden. That was not the original plan. Actually, what it is a curse. It's part of the curse, Hebrew women, that the man will rule over thee. That is the curse. That's part of the curse. It's a curse that a man ruled over us. That's not the God of Israel original plan that he had. That was the curse of the woman, of Eve. He cursed Eve and said, the man will rule over you. That's part of the curse. When a man rule over you, that's part of the curse. And that's exactly the way you have to look at it. It is not the original plan of the God of Israel. Okay? They rule over us because of what happened in the garden. And it's part of the curse. It's not a blessing that a man rule over you. It's not a blessing that he's your head and he rule. No, it's not. It's part of the curse. And that's exactly the way you need to look at it. Okay, last scripture. Genesis 29:15 through 26. We're going to talk about Rachel, Leah and Rachel, the last mothers of the Hebrew kingdom. Yes, Genesis 29:15 through 26. And let me say this. You know, you got the Hebrew Israelite elders coming on YouTube saying, oh, yeah, the ones that believe that they can have more than one wife, they can have 5 wives and 10 wives, they can have as many wives as they want. And they tried to use Jacob. They used Jacob and said, yeah, what Jacob had, he had 4 wives. But Jacob never wanted nothing but one wife. See, let me clear this up, see. Jacob only wanted Rachel. He never wanted Leah. He never wanted Zipporah, you know, the maids, he never wanted none of them. Zipporah. Let's read it. Let's clear this up before I go. Genesis 29:15 to 26. It says, and Laban said unto Jacob, because thou art my brother, shouldst thou therefore serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall thy wages be? So Jacob went to his uncle's house to running away from Esau, his brother. But when he got there, he saw Rachel. He saw Rachel and he fell so in love with her because she was so very beautiful. Why is not that our Hebrew men is not falling in love with us? Why they don't want us? Why they don't desire us? Like Jacob desired Rachel, like Isaac desired Rebecca. Why? Excuse me. Because we're not beautiful. Or should I say, y'all not beautiful because our queen is very beautiful and all naturally beautiful. So look, it says, verse 16, and Laban had two daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years, but Rachel thy youngest daughter. Okay? So he never wanted Leah. And he never wanted, hold on, Bilhah. He never wanted Bilhah. And he never wanted Zilpah. He never wanted them. He only wanted Rachel. So you Hebrew Israelite men, stop trying to use Jacob, our father of the Hebrew kingdom, saying that because he had 4 wives, you can have 6 wives or 4 or how many wives you want. No, Jacob never wanted but one wife. Abraham only wanted one wife. That was Sarah, his wife, talking him into having another wife because she thought she couldn't have no more children. So it was a reason why. But it was not that Abraham wanted another wife. No, no. He was happy with Sarah because she was so beautiful. She was so irresistible, beautiful. What do he need with another wife? He didn't need no another wife. He don't want another wife. Sarah was all that he needed and wanted, and he didn't need no other wife. But she was irresistible, beautiful inside out. Okay? So y'all Hebrew Israelite men need to stop trying to use the fathers of the Hebrew kingdom to, so you can get 4 and 5 and 6, 7 wives. I'm not saying that it's wrong for a Hebrew to have 2 or 3 wives. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying stop trying to use Jacob because Jacob only wanted one wife and Abraham only wanted one wife. So let's go back to, and Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob, verse 18, we can already lead, Genesis 29:18. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, thy youngest daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel. And they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. See, it was never about Leah. It was never about the handmaids. It was only about Rachel, because she was very beautiful and well favored. Well favored. Okay? Well favored. The God of Israel. She was barren. She was barren just because of the way she was against her sister. I believe that was the problem with that. But I have to do more research on that. She was well favored. She was beautiful. Oh, Rachel, she was like, Jacob was like 70 some years old when he got to Laban's house, his uncle. That was his cousin, his first cousin. She was only like 20, some like She was like 20, 18, 19. She was real young, like 20 years old, real young. If that, I have to do more research to really give you the correct age, but she was very, very young. Jacob was like 50 some years older than her. So she was beautiful. She was youthful. She was young. She was vibrant. She was intelligent. She was beautiful. She was smart. She was wise. This is another mother of the Hebrew kid, Leah. Leah was another mother of the Hebrew kingdom, even though Jacob didn't want Leah. He never wanted Leah. But he respected Leah. And once she became his wife, he treated her the right way. He didn't treat her wrong or nothing like that. Once she became his wife, when Laban deceived him and put Leah in the bed with him instead of Rachel, he went in unto her and she became his wife. He never mistreated her, even though he didn't want her. She was beautiful. So what I want to say is the mothers of Zion, the mothers of the Hebrew kingdom. Jacob was a prince with God. He was a prince with God. He's a king. He was a king of Jerusalem. He's the father of the Hebrew nation. Of course, he is a king. What you think he is? He's the father of the Hebrew nation, the 12 tribes of Israel. He's a powerful man, and he was powerful. Yaakov, he was very powerful. Isaac, very powerful. And their wives was also powerful, beautiful, brilliant women. So I'll talk to y'all later. What time is it? I think the Sabbath is over with now in Jerusalem. It's getting dark in Jerusalem right now. It's 11:07. It get dark in Jerusalem like 11:45. It's like 7 something over there. 7, like 7:07, something like that in Jerusalem right now. It's about to get dark. The Sabbath is over in Jerusalem. So it's over all over the earth. And y'all crazy, crazy Hebrew people. Crazy. Think you can keep the Sabbath outside of Jerusalem. Y'all people are nuts. Nuts. When the God of Israel kicked the children of Israel out, our ancestors, because they was polluting the Sabbath day, what make you Hebrews or you people think that they could keep the Sabbath outside of Jerusalem? And they got kicked out of Jerusalem for polluting the Sabbath in Jerusalem. See how that don't make sense? That just don't make sense. That just don't make no sense. So the mothers of Zion, Sarah, Rachel, Leah, and Rebecca. Beautiful, 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 beautiful women of the kingdom, daughters of the God of Israel. Talk to y'all later. Subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment.